YouTube friends, what is going on? David Lee back with a brand new video. Right now I am location scouting for for a TVC spot, television commercial spot that I have. I am here in Glendora, California. I don't have my Gorilla Pod with me, so this is just holding it with my hand. But I want to talk to you about the best camera for you in 2020. So if you saw my video last year, the best camera for 2019, I spoke about different cameras and how the 1DX Mark II was a camera that served all my needs. In 2020, what is a camera that can serve your needs, right? Do you need high frame rates, like more than 180 frames per second? Do you need high dynamic range, like 12, 13, 14 stops? Do you need better audio, built-in audio, like an XLR port or two, built-in NDs? Do you need good color reproduction? Like very important things that we all need. So for me this year, I have the GH5, which I purchased last year, haven't sold it. I have the Blackmagic Pocket 4K, again this year I haven't sold it, and they serve different purposes. Right, my GH5, which I'm filming on right now, it's great for pure run and gun stuff, where say you're filming a talking head for a client, you're at a location, a public location where you probably shouldn't be filming, or maybe you don't know if you can film there without a permit, but you're like, you know what, this location works, we're ready to go, we're prepped, let's get a camera up and rolling and let's film. So if you have a camera with IBIS and like a log profile with high dynamic range, that's probably the camera that you need for those types of shoots. And you have to factor in, like, how often do I do those shoots? Do I do them a lot? 50% of the time, 10% of the time. Damn, I thought walking up this hill was hard. Walking downhill, holding a camera and talking is almost just as hard. Or maybe I'm just not in shape. Anyways, going back to our topic, right? What else do you need in a camera? Maybe you need a camera with really good color reproduction, right? We all talk about skin tones and if something looks red in camera, does it look red or does it look brown? Things like that. And for me, the GH5 has proven to be a very, very good camera when it comes to color reproduction, as well as with the Blackmagic Pocket 4K. And if you're using the 6K, it's like, $1,000 or something like that. So just have to factor in if you need the extra resolution, right? And so that could be the third one, right? Is maybe you need 4K, maybe you need 5K, maybe you need 6K. Are you doing a lot of, do you film a lot of like liquid commercials, like beer or alcohol or milk seems to be a popular thing. Maybe you need a higher resolution because you're doing VFX stuff, right? You're doing green screen, blue screen. Maybe you're doing a lot of sky replacement kind of stuff, I don't know, right? It's just kind of, you have to figure in what exactly you're doing in 2020 and hopefully, for years to come, where you can buy a camera that can suit your needs. So now let's talk about actual cameras, right? How about some cameras that have come out in 2019? Are they still worthwhile, right? Canon, not a lot of cameras came out in 2019, but like say 2018, 2019, right? Canon EOS R, Fuji X-T3, GH5S, Blackmagic line, Sony A7 III, very, very popular camera. I would say that if you're filming a lot of content that's being produced for web advertising, so Facebook ads, Instagram ads, maybe there's a video you need for a client that's just gonna be on their website, maybe a LinkedIn ad. I feel like any camera below $2,000, $2,500 is gonna fit your needs, right? So that's a lot of cameras. Sony A7 III, GH5S, Blackmagic Pocket 4K. All those cameras are great. I would say if you do more run and gun stuff, then get a camera with IBIS, right? Or be okay with using a gimbal or a Steadicam / glide cam more often. And if you've been following along with my journey thus far, you know that I used to shoot on Sony E mount, I used to shoot on Canon mount, EF mount, and I've switched to Micro Four Thirds. So it has been a bit of a change because I've been used to full frame cameras. I used to own the A7R Mark II, the 1DX Mark II. You really have a plethora of lenses you can choose from when you go Micro Four Thirds, right? So factor in what kind of sensor you need or want with your camera, and that also ties in with your low light performance. And speaking of low light, maybe you shoot a lot of weddings, you do a lot of event photography, videography. Maybe you just do a lot of low light filming in general, So you need a camera that can produce as clean of an image as possible in lower light situations. Again, Sony a7 III comes to mind, GH5S comes to mind. A couple different choices. The Blackmagic Pocket 4K does pretty decent, you know, if you can stick to ISO 1250. Beyond that though, there's a decent amount of grain and noise in the image. But I feel like for the most part, if you are relying on like ambient light, natural light, try to go with a Sony camera, and in some instances, Canon cameras. You know, if you can do like a C100 Mark II or something like that, you know, a bit of a bigger camera. Finally on even land. God, I'm freaking tired already, guys. It's been this is a pretty gnarly trail, man. It's just uphill, and then downhill, it's not bad, but you know, it's only like the beginning of the trail. It's sneaky. It's like, oh, this isn't too bad. And you get like a quarter way up, you're like, holy crap, what the hell did I get myself into? And so I feel like the last feature you should look for in a camera should be about the portability of it. If you're a one-man band, you don't necessarily want to use a huge, you know, 10-pound camera. If you usually film with, you know, 2 or 3 people, then maybe you could afford to use a bigger camera, right? So Ursa Mini Pro G2, Canon C200, Sony FS5, FS7 line, Panasonic VariCam LT are different options. But for me, you know, I rarely film with like huge crews, like 5 people or 10 people. So I typically will rent those cameras, you know, like the bigger cameras, Red Scarlet W, so on and so forth. For the most part, I feel like you guys should be purchasing something of a smaller form factor, you know, that you can build out. You don't want to build it out so huge though, because that doesn't make any sense. You might as well just, you know, get like an actual cinema camera at that point. I think we covered pretty much everything, you know, from portability to frame rates, low light performance, what kind of sensor you want to use, or what kind of mount you want to use. A lot of things that go into purchasing a camera, because a camera at the end of the day is an investment. Now, as of this recording, Canon and Nikon both released new cameras. The Canon 1DX Mark III just came out, $6,500. The Nikon D780 just came out. That's, you know, however much that is. But what I don't want you guys to do is to go, you know, and think that you need the latest and greatest, because 90% of the time, 99.99% of the time, you don't need the latest and greatest. What you do need, however, is that one camera that ticks as many of the boxes that we spoke about today, right? It has to tick as, you know, 90+% of those boxes, because I'm hoping that you guys are in a situation where, or you're in a place where you're actually making videos, you're creating content for businesses, for brands that is helping to make you profit, right? You have your own business. If you're not owning your own business, if you're just a hobbyist, then probably isn't the channel for you. You know, I'm just saying that because a lot of people who watch my videos, who participate with the channel, you know, these are people like hopefully like you, that again are business owners that are creating content around video marketing, brand awareness, advertising, right? Anything in that nature. Now, all that being said, I hope you guys have enough information now to make a better decision later on this year when you do decide to purchase a new camera. Could be a brand new camera, it could be an upgrade to what you already have. But take a look at everything you need. Take a look at, you know, not what you want from a camera, but what you need from the camera. And then hopefully if there is maybe 1 or 2 things that are part of that, you know, want list in your necessity camera, then hey, you know, that's all good. That does it for me, friends, in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought you value in some way, shape, or form. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel as always, just so you know if I have new content coming out. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what camera you are excited for to purchase in 2020. And remember, friends, every day you have an opportunity to create your experience and to write and tell your own story. My name is David Lee, and I will catch you guys in the next video.